Wow, what a game. I don't think anyone could have expected that outcome for the Green Bay Packers. They win 48-32 against Dallas Cowboys after going out to, a 27 to nothing lead. Defense played outstanding in the first half. I think the second half they really kind of gave up a lot because they were playing dime and nickel and prevent for the most part. So game was a lot closer than what it actually was because Joe Barry just kind of let them get back in the game there. So it ends up only being a 2-score margin. But of course, we've got lovely Jordan Love up here. He is the new sheriff in town. That is the title of the video. He played outstanding, as well as, a lot of the young receivers. Aaron Jones as well played great. He is just a cowboy killer. So just an overall great game. Who knows what happens to Mike McCarthy? I personally don't think that they should move on from him because he is, he has done really well with them. 12 win seasons, 3 years in a row. Dak this season looked like the best he's ever been. So I don't think that the Cowboys should really move on from Mike McCarthy. Although Jerry Jones might decide to kind of pull the trigger and then move on with Belichick out there as an option. But we'll see. But, let's talk about the Packers. Let's talk about this game. It was just, from start to finish, a Packers dream, right? Everything went right for them. Just, momentum right from the start, scoring an easy touchdown, getting a pick, another easy touchdown, and then, eventually getting a pick six as well. And it's just that game in a nutshell was amazing. So I think I'm going to kind of go into the recap here on ESPN's website, just kind of go over the scoring summary for those of you who may not have seen everything. Hopefully I'm not spoiling anything for you, but of course, started out with an Aaron Jones touchdown, another Aaron Jones touchdown, and then a nice pass to Dontavian Wicks on a cover zero blitz. He was able to beat Stephon Gilmore, set him up on the outside, and then broke inside and was able to get the contested catch for a touchdown. Unfortunately, Anders Carlson missing another kick there. Then we had the pick six by Darnell Savage. That was something that I highlighted in my preview, was that kind of slant, that double slant concept that the Cowboys really love to run in short yardage situations. And I also talked about keying in on CeeDee Lamb, and that's exactly what happened. Savage was kind of playing that cover one robber position, and he read it perfectly and took it to the house. That's exactly what you want out of a robber, as you rob it and you score a touchdown. So great job. And then at the end of the half, you had the false starts. That ended up being a touchdown, but, it's not that big of a deal. Cowboys field goal out of the half. So, the defense continued to play well after the half, hold them to a field goal. It could have easily been down to, a 2-score game there. Being, a 13-point game, they could have easily gotten a touchdown there. Then you've got Aaron Jones again. Tony Pollard, Luke Musgrave on that, play action, the drag wheel route on the backside. So another miscommunication there for the Cowboys. And then that Doubs touchdown, just unreal touchdown from Jordan Love. Hopefully we'll see the highlights of it. I'll definitely see the all 22 footage and pick that play because that was an incredible throw. And then, of course, you got the garbage time touchdowns for Jake Ferguson. I highlighted, there was a friend of mine who asked, who do you think is gonna have a good game? Because I think he was going to have some bets. And I said Aaron Jones, Dontavian Wicks, and Jake Ferguson. And all three had, a decent game. Obviously, Jones and Ferguson had big games. And Wicks did have the touchdown, but unfortunately he only had 2 catches. But Romeo Doubs, incredible game. 6 catches, 150 yards, a touchdown. Just amazing job by this Packers team. And even, down to special teams. If we're thinking about special teams, of course, we had the one miss, the missed extra points, but we didn't have to take any field goals. And, the other thing with Daniel Whelan, he had 3 punts. All 3 of them were inside the 10. So it was a great job, playing the field position game. Just pretty incredible all around. If we head to the box score here, Dak threw the ball 60 times. I think I've got my, breakdown here. It's not finished yet. I've still got to input all the actual plays, but so then I can get the situations down. But the Packers only had 60 plays if you include their special teams. So if you take away the 3 punts, that's 57 plays to the Cowboys, who had, take a look, 95 total plays. And then if you take out the punts and field goals, you're looking at about 91 plays. Just incredible, by the Packers to be able to win this game. So going into Dallas, winning it, now you have a much tougher test the next week going against the 49ers. So who knows what to expect. This feels a little similar to the 2010, run that the Packers had coming in as the lowest seed and then just kind of blowing out the Eagles in that first game, getting momentum, blowing out the 1 seed. I don't see that happening. Maybe I'm just, being a little bit cautious here because the 49ers are a really good team, but who knows when we play them, if it's Saturday or Sunday. I think this game was good for the Packers. A lot of momentum, a lot of confidence, and then you've got a team, the 49ers, sure, they were able to rest, they get healthy, but Packers are probably feeling very, very confident after this game. We had some injuries, need to make sure that, those guys are healthy and ready to go. Of course, Jair left the game with his what looked to be an ankle injury again. I think he re-aggravated that ankle, so hopefully it's nothing too serious, and hopefully he can go again next week. But just a great game overall. Really, really surprising. There's not much else that I can say about it. It's just surreal that, that happened. I think it's just great sometimes when you've got a team that really feels like it has nothing to lose, and they play with the utmost confidence that, it's going to produce for you, right? And my original prediction, obviously was 24-20, so it was a little bit off, and I had predicted the Cowboys, but, after I posted my preview video, I started to think more and more. It's like, I think the Packers might have a chance, and, of course, they did. Jordan Love played incredible, basically a perfect rating. He's got a 157.2, which is not quite a perfect rating, but getting up there. Aaron Jones, perfect game, 21 carries. Anytime Aaron Jones gets more than 20 carries, the Packers do well. Doubs, Musgrave, that big touchdown. Dontavian Wicks, only 2 catches, but also had that big touchdown grab. Just an overall balanced game, and that's what this Packers team has been for a while now, because you have all these young contributors that it is going to be balanced. Jaden Reed, everyone probably thought he would be a big part of this because the slot on the Cowboys wasn't necessarily that great. And then you've got CeeDee Lamb on the other side. He had a pretty quiet first half, but then 17 targets. He was forced the ball 17 times, almost a third of Dak's, overall attempts. Ferguson also had a big game, so they had almost 3 receivers with 100 yards receiving. And most of that is coming in the second half when the Packers had a big lead. So I am looking forward to it next week. I'm looking forward to watching film on the 49ers. I'll take a look at a few of their games just to see, what the matchups are for the Packers, and hopefully I can get a more accurate prediction about it. The thing that's interesting for me is, Shanahan and LaFleur, they know each other quite well. So who knows what that's going to entail? Are they going to stick with their tendencies or not? I know one thing that the Packers did a lot here in this game, if we look at their personnel usage, they basically stick in 11 and 12 personnel all the time. That's something that LaFleur does constantly. He's always using 11 personnel, which is, 1 running back, 1 tight end, and 3 wide receivers, or he's in 12 personnel. And I figured he would do a lot more 12 personnel this week to try to block Micah Parsons. And, that it worked, essentially. You've got a few holding calls on Parsons, but then you had that, chip block by Jones as well, right into the ribs of Parsons, and that really helped kind of slow him down a little bit. I'm sure he wasn't feeling too well. And he's got, the entire offseason to recover, but there's just a lot of good things coming out of this game. And this is kind of the start of Jordan Love's legacy as well. You know, first ever playoff game, goes into Dallas, you know, lowest seed taking on the highest seed at the time, you know, the 2 seed, and they'll be taking on the 1 seed next week. Just a dominant win in his first ever playoff game. So I'm looking forward to next week. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Go Pack, go.